Steelers Nation, you can feel it in the air. Something special is building in Pittsburgh. This team isn't just playing football. It's crafting an identity, brick by brick, practice by practice. The energy around this group feels different. Every rep, every meeting, every snap is driven by one goal, bringing championship football back to the Steel City. And leading that charge, setting the tone for everyone in the building, is none other than Aaron Rodgers. Before we get into what Rodgers revealed ahead of his first ever AFC North battle, let's just acknowledge where this team stands. Sitting at 3-1, the Steelers look focused, tough, and determined. If you've been following this team for years, you know when the momentum feels real. And this time, it absolutely does. At 41 years old, Rodgers is playing like he's a decade younger. Through 4 games, he's completing nearly 70% of his passes, throwing for almost 800 yards, and racking up 8 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions. Those are elite numbers for any quarterback, let alone one in his 20th season. But what's truly changed Pittsburgh isn't just the stats, it's the way Rodgers carries himself. His poise, his leadership, and his complete command of the offense have transformed the entire identity of this team. For the first time in years, the Steelers have stability under center. There's confidence in the huddle again. The offense looks organized. The defense feeds off that rhythm. This is what real leadership looks like. Coming out of the bye week, the Steelers finally look like a true AFC contender. Not a team hoping to hang on, but one preparing to take control of the division. Now, Rodgers faces his first true test in black and gold. His introduction to AFC North football. For someone who spent his entire career in the NFC North, he knows rivalries. But the intensity here is on another level. The Ravens, Browns, and Bengals don't just play hard, they play with genuine animosity. Every hit matters. Every possession feels personal. In his recent conversation with ESPN's Brooke Pryor, Rodgers spoke candidly about learning the emotional side of these rivalries. "I was asking PQ about it the other day," Rodgers said, referring to linebacker Patrick Queen. "In the NFC North, we had great rivalries. Chicago was always big, Minnesota was personal between the fans, and Detroit, that was more about respect. But here, you can feel the hatred. It's different." That's Rodgers in a nutshell. He studies everything. He doesn't just prepare for defenses. He studies cultures, fans, and traditions. He wants to understand the heartbeat of the game. He even admitted that he's been picking Patrick Queen's brain about what to expect. Queen, of course, spent years in Baltimore, so he knows this division inside and out. The crowd noise, the physicality, the tension that builds with every snap. Rodgers has been absorbing all of it, trying to understand what makes AFC North football so gritty, so emotional, so defining. He even added, "It seems like the rivalry with the Browns is fierce, but that hatred runs both ways with the Bengals and the Ravens. You can tell he's eager to feel it firsthand. Steelers fans have noticed too." On social media, one fan wrote, "He's already talking like a real Steeler. The dude gets it." And honestly, that sums it up perfectly. This season, the difference is unmistakable. We've seen the Steelers start strong before, flashes of brilliance early in the season that eventually faded away. Last year, the offense lost rhythm, the quarterback play got inconsistent, and the team just couldn't maintain momentum. But this year feels different. Rodgers has brought balance, composure, and structure. His pre-snap reads are razor sharp. His timing with receivers like DK Metcalf and Pat Freiermuth looks effortless. The offensive line is playing more confidently, knowing the ball won't stay in Rodgers' hands too long. Even the running backs, Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, are benefiting, finding more room to run because defenses have to respect the pass again. Everything just feels synchronized, efficient, and dangerous. And beyond tactics, Rodgers has brought back something intangible but vital: belief. This team doesn't just hope to win, it expects to win. But Rodgers isn't the only storyline in Pittsburgh this week. The Steelers quietly made headlines when reports surfaced that former first-round pick Isaiah Simmons visited the team facility for a workout. That's right. The Clemson standout who ran a 4.39 at the Combine and was drafted 8th overall in 2020 could soon be wearing black and gold. Simmons never quite lived up to the massive hype in Arizona. but he's still just 27 and has the kind of versatility that defensive coordinators dream about. He's lined up at linebacker, safety, edge rusher, and even slot corner. During his time with the Giants, he played snaps all over the field, in the slot, in the box, even along the defensive line. He's not a superstar, but he's athletic, smart, and physical. Exactly the kind of hybrid defender Terrell Austin loves to deploy in creative packages. Imagine a scenario where Patrick Queen, Isaiah Simmons, and Jalen Ramsey are all on the field together. That's a nightmare for opposing offenses. Speed, intelligence, and range, all in one defensive look. It's exactly what you need to deal with mobile quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. The Steelers have been searching for extra depth after losing Jelani Tavai and John Radigan from the practice squad, and Simmons could fill that role perfectly. If Omar Khan pulls the trigger, it could be one of those under-the-radar signings that end up paying huge dividends down the stretch. Meanwhile, on the offensive side, there's more good news. Jaylen Warren, who missed Week 4 with a knee injury, is officially back to full practice. Not limited, not questionable, full go. That's a massive boost for the backfield. Warren's been one of the emotional spark plugs of this offense. He runs like every carry might be his last, lowering his shoulder, fighting for extra yards, and setting the tone with his toughness. Sitting him before the bye week was smart. And now, after nearly 2 weeks of rest, he looks rejuvenated just in time for one of the most physical games of the year against the Browns. Coach Mike Tomlin sounded optimistic when he addressed reporters this week, saying, "I feel really encouraged about the return of some people who've been out. Guys like Alex Highsmith, Joey Porter Jr., and Jaylen Warren all looked good on Monday. The arrows are pointed up." And if you know Tomlin, you know that phrase. Arrows pointed up usually means one thing. Those guys are expected to play. Having Warren, Highsmith, and Porter Jr. all trending toward full health couldn't come at a better time. The Steelers are building something real this season. Between the front office making bold roster moves, the defense returning to full strength, and Rodgers' leadership uniting the locker room, there's a sense of purpose that hasn't been felt here in years. Rodgers' attention to detail, even taking the time to study the emotional side of AFC North rivalries, might seem small, but that's what separates good teams from great ones. It's the mindset, the preparation, the respect for the grind. He's not here to coast or wrap up a farewell tour. He's here to win. He's embracing the pressure, the expectations, and everything that comes with wearing that black and gold uniform. As Pittsburgh gears up for a slugfest against the Browns, one thing is clear. This is not the same old Steelers team. They're balanced, disciplined, and for the first time in a long time, they have a quarterback who makes everyone around him better. Rodgers has brought a spark, a swagger, and a belief that Pittsburgh football is once again something to be feared. Every hit, every snap, every rivalry, it all means something now. The Steelers are locked in, the arrows are pointing up, and the city is starting to believe again. Aaron Rodgers isn't just playing football in Pittsburgh, he's rewriting the story.